Welcome back, everyone. Going in the second half here of episode 103 of Court of Swords. Adam, what is going on?
Well, you have free kind of reign over your own destiny for the evening. Ramus, you're feeling like just fucked up. Like, like you're kind of like, it's that feeling of like, am I really hungover? Am I still kind of drunk? Maybe both. I can't tell. And like, just everything kind of hurts a little bit. So like, maybe you want to sleep, but also like you've been returned to the monastery of your youth, and it's very different and weird. So like you guys have the evening to kind of do what you want. What do you think? What do you want to do?
Sorry, I was heating up soup. I'm grabbing it right now.
It's all right, soup boy.
Yeah, I don't know.
Go get
I haven't had any dinner.
Go get your fucking soup.
Yeah, no one cares, Max. Go.
Sorry, I was waiting for Ramus to answer.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that I'm just feeling too out of it. That I'm just taking it easy and just lying down in the tent.
Yeah,
Like, I don't have the effort, even though I'm here to go out there right now. I just need to take it easy.
Is the boy easy to track on his when he departs? Like, does he?
Yeah, if you want to try to follow
shadows, or like,
right? Does he just like fucking hover away? Yeah, just wire foos off into the night. You could try to make a survival roll to track this young lad.
All right, I will do such a thing.
Okay.
13.
Yeah, 13's enough. That's fine. Ground's soft. Rains a lot around here, but like it hasn't in a little bit, so yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah. Do you do that? I mean, tracking is following the trail, so do you want to go after him or?
Yep. I turn to the group and say, I'll be back later tonight. I am curious. And then you just see me like leave. But
I gotta go follow that 7-year-old.
I think
he's not up to any good.
I like throw the jug over my shoulder from Yotazo to start down the path.
Like in the sense of like you take it with you.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I thought that's what you were getting at. Okay. Cool. Yep. All right.
Do you,
so yeah. Just go ahead.
Do you mean to? I kind of follow him out, and do you mean to go by yourself wherever you're going?
Depends if you want to get caught or not. I'm going to follow the boy, so that's your decision. I'm like in pace walking.
Yeah, and I walk with you until this conversation is done or we decide whatever.
Yeah, okay.
So I walk with you and I say, what is the purpose of following the boy? He's going to probably go inside, probably his quarters, something of that nature.
If you were followed by someone, your parents would wonder who they were and why. I tend to make sure that the message is delivered, is all.
Is the risk worth the reward, though, is my question. If he finds you following him, he probably won't be that happy about it.
A 6-year-old is unhappy with me. I can live with that, I assume.
You might not know how family works in places like this. It's different than maybe you're used to. The son insulted is an insult on the father and the mother and so on and so forth. So I'm just saying, like, if you're going prepared, like that is going to be the result.
I'm prepared. I appreciate that.
Very well. I'll leave you to it then. I wish you luck. And don't forget to bring that back in the morning, in the dawn.
I will. There will be nothing in it, as you ask.
Maybe I could have a drink before you leave.
I just turn and walk. Back later.
Yeah.
Yes, please. Be back. If you could come back before the dawn, that would probably be best.
I'm gone at that point.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you head off. So meanwhile, Ramus, you've curled up on your pallet to rest, and Berg, did you go back into the tent, or do you have something that you want to do?
No, I never got my food.
Yeah. Well, it's not like there's like food stands around here.
Yeah, I'm sure there's people cooking up food somewhere, though.
Yeah, maybe. You want to go try to look for some?
Yeah, just walk around at the very least just to see what Berg can survey.
Just follow your nose. Okay.
Half trying to get food. Half also kind of just wandering.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So you go out into the camp and start wandering around a little. Yeah, I mean, you see a group of people working. They're like pulling on some ropes. They've got a scaffold kind of set up, and they're pulling a big chunk of broken rock up into the scaffold to like swing it in and put it back in the wall. They're doing some repairs on the outer wall. Yeah, it seems like even though it's nighttime, people are still working, still doing things, trying to get the camp back in shape. Yeah, are you like on the hunt particularly for like food?
Yeah, I mean, if there's people like that are like
around?
if there are people that are on break from work or whatever that are eating something or whatever, he'd come up, probably offer to buy some off them or something.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you see a group of men and women sitting around a fire that they've lit just out in the open. There's a little like fire pit. And they're mostly like, they don't have like furniture or like logs or anything they're sitting on. So they're just kind of like squatting around the fire, talking. And one of them's like smoking a pipe. There's little like clouds of smoke coming off of them. And they've got a pot, which is actually, it looks like a helmet, like a big flat metal helmet, but it's been flipped upside down and it's in the fire. And they're cooking. Somebody's poking at it with a fucking long handled wooden spoon.
Yeah. Berg approaches, and if they make eye contact with him, he gives them like the respectful bow.
Yeah.
If they don't make eye contact with him, he just says,
"Yeah, they'll look up. They see this big dude coming." And the guy with the spoon kind of gives you a nod, and this guy he's like kind of old. Like he's got like a pretty like weather-worn face, kind of a bit of a stooped back. He's got that kind of scraggly like old man. It's not a beard exactly. It's just like a lot of kind of random gray hairs just kind of hanging out of places on his face. And he looks up and kind of like slaps his lips a little bit. Dude's missing a bunch of his teeth. And he kind of like points the ladle at you. And he's like, "You're that bodyguard came in earlier today, aren't you? You and your other big friend."
Yes, I suppose I would be that one.
Didn't know you were an orc. We have a few of those around.
Now you know.
You know, it's now I do. Now I do. You're just wandering around in the dark?
Smells good. Followed the scent. Figured I'd
Nods.
come by
Gestures.
and see if there was enough. Would buy off of you. Rations from the road. I can deal with it. But if something else is available,
And he nods. And he turns as if you're like answering a question that they had been debating earlier. And he gestures at a woman that's crouched down by the fire, very intently looking at the soup. And he looks at her like, "Yeah, see, I fucking told you." And he turns back to you. The ladle's kind of just like dripping. And he says, "Hot and sour soup. I have been making it since I was a boy. And I said it's perfect. She thinks it needs more tamarind. But if you came all the way over here on the merits of the smell of my damn soup, I think I've made my point." And he looks at the woman and rolls her eyes like, "You fucking old moron." And he turns to you. He turns back to you and he says, but let's put away this nonsense about buying it. That's not how we work here. You're in the camp. You need food. You get food. Someone give me a bowl. And someone hands him like a little bowl. And he looks at them and he's like, have you seen the size of this man? Look at that bowl. That bowl is so small. I could fill it to the brim and it wouldn't feed half this man's stomach. Look. And he like taps you in the stomach with the fucking ladle. And he's like, bigger, you jackass. And the guy's like, oh, fuck, sorry, fuck, man. And he like digs around and he comes out like a bigger bowl. And the dude with the ladle scoops some. He's just like, and like puts a bunch of hot shrimp soup in the bowl. And he holds it out to you. And he says, there. Enough to feed you, I think.
Or like grabs it and like nods.
Yeah, your mouth starts watering. Your eyes start watering a little bit too.
It's so good. It's perfect. I have scoop for this. This is role playing, everybody. Okay, take a look. That bird grabs the bowl, is like,
Very good. Thank you.
You're welcome. What's your name, big boy?
or doesn't like he doesn't hear him for a second because he's just in on it.
Yeah. And he gestures. He's like, okay, take a minute with the soup. And he turns to when you belch, he turns to one of his friends and he's like, do you catch that? And like the guy shrugs and he's like, I think he said his name was Bert. And the guy nods. And he's like, I think that's right. And he's like, well, pleased to meet you, Bert. My name is Natapong. I made that soup, so now you owe me one. And there will come a time where I will come to you and reclaim that favor. Maybe not today, perhaps not tomorrow, but someday, big boy, I'm gonna come looking for a favor. Now I know you think this man is so old. Natapong is just going to die before he can call in his favor, but I will become a ghost, and I will follow you. I will follow you all the way across the world until I get my favor. Do you hear me, Bert? Hmm? Was that your last name?
Worth it.
He nods and he's like, I know. Everybody owes old Natapong a favor because of that damn soup. But we have lots of shrimp, so it's okay. You enjoy that. You can sit with us if you want. This lot is boring me to death. Tells the same stories every night. But maybe a new audience would be good for them.
Berg like nods and he'll sit for a sec, while he eats his soup.
Yeah. So he says, we have a tradition though, Bert. You guys got to start. Tell us a story, big boy.
I suppose that is fair. Well, as you might imagine, it is a tale of battle. I was a mercenary, and we were tracking a group of bandits that had destroyed my charge, place of residence, right? Home. Doesn't
He nods.
matter.
He's like, that's the word. Mm-hmm.
We went through the forest, tracking their footsteps, until we realized they were faking them, drawing a bunch in the sand or in the dirt, They had sticks walking on them. Threw us off. We tracked
And
them eventually.
Yeah, he just keeps going like,
well, you've got everybody's attention, right? Where they're nodding and like, this is a story, like being a mercenary and like tracking prey in the jungle and stuff. They're like, yeah, we had to do this shit. We were in the shit too, man. And they're like nodding along. Let's see how I'm gonna get. I know you've been making a lot of these tonight, and it hasn't been going well. You made a good impression though. Let's have you make another performance check. Who knew this would be the night of Berg making performance checks? Do it with advantage, and we'll see. If you succeed, then you'll have made some friends among the thing. Otherwise, they'll just be like, yeah, we remember that story that orc told. So
performance check. Oh God, they're gonna hate me.
I know you're not great at this, but so maybe you ramble a little. Maybe they lose track. Maybe a couple of them get bored or whatever. But
shittiest story they ever heard.
no, it's not. You have advantage, dude. That's the best you could possibly tell. This is the best story Berg is capable of telling. You could not have done better. This was a perfect story as far as Berg goes. So yeah. So not the Pong and his units, his little friends. There's like about a half dozen of them. They're your buds now. They're like your friends. They like you. They think you're cool. You're welcome to come back and have more. We'll call them like, I don't know, the Hot Shrimp Legion. And they're your dudes now. They're just like, yeah, they're into it.
Yeah.
They're down with Big Boy Belch face. So yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, you can just hang out with them all night if you want, smoking and fucking telling stories and stuff.
Yeah, we'll hang out with them for a while until either they come and grab Berg or, he finishes his soup and he's tired and goes back.
You get tired. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they just keep giving you soup and they all eat and there's lots of like smoking. Some of them have like hand-rolled cigarettes. They like pass out and yeah, they tell stories too. And the stories that they tell are like they have a worn comfort to them, right? These stories, they've been told, night after night. You can kind of feel that they all know the parts. They know when it's appropriate to nod. They know when it's appropriate to laugh. They know when it's appropriate to like bust somebody's balls over a part they all know is like not true. And you get to kind of watch from the outside as this group of soldiers just like recounts with each other the oral history of their struggles. And they tell you stories about like killing Court of Swords soldiers, right? They tell about like the Court of Swords troops coming to their village and like the fucking pit trap they set for them. They talk about fighting with like bamboo spears and then taking the swords and armor of the Legion. They show you, right? Like a guy will be like, I got this breastplate, and he shows it, and there's like a fucking hole in it. And he's like, yeah, that's where I shoved the spear and killed the man whose breastplate this was. Now it's mine. And yeah, they tell all these stories about like this fucking guerrilla war that they've all been a part of for like a decade against the Court of Swords, right? They've been in service to the entity they call the King of Black Rivers for 10 years. And they all have some story of like a person they lost or like a village that got burned or like just the bad shit that had to happen to get them here. And and so you get this kind of you get immersed in this sort of like night of storytelling. And you don't get the impression they're not telling these stories for you, right? They're telling these stories for each other. And you just get to be there for it. So that's how Berg spends his evening.
Listens intently, contributing every now and then, or like laughing every now and then just eating soup.
Yeah, dude.
He's like, this
yeah,
is
dude.
fucking
You get
awesome.
yeah, and you get sweaty. You get the shrimp soup sweats because it's spicy as hell. So like you're just like, yeah, I gotta eat more of this soup, and you're like, you're gonna regret that shit tomorrow. But for now, you're digging it.
Perfect.
So meanwhile though, while Berg is kind of getting, and also they treat you like just another soldier, right? Like after that initial like, hey, I didn't know you were an orc. That's it. They're like, nope, you're just treated like just like a buddy.
I was curious about that if it went anymore.
Oh yeah, no, they don't care. Maybe like at some point one of them was like, yeah, my like great aunt is a quarter orc or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But like
it's cool, bro. It's cool.
Yeah. I got orc friends. But yeah, no, they just treat you like a dude. You're a soldier first because you proved it with your badass story. So while that's happening, Maharib and Yotazo, you follow the child.
I think it's just me. I think Yodazo turned around.
Right, that's right. So Yota turns away.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. All right, Maharib. The kid seems to have gone, and you track him by moonlight. Seems to have gone across the like the open part of what used to be the Statuary Garden towards the Hall of Worship. Because the Hall of Worship acts as kind of a second
Tier.
I mean, I guess I can let me just show you the map.
All right.
You guys see that? Did
Negative.
that pop up for you? Okay, let me put it in everybody's journal so maybe you can see it. I'm trying a new thing where I'm keeping some of my GM notes in the there you go. So yeah, if you click on the little magnifying glass guy or whatever. Okay, so the Statuary Garden is where you're at right now. So it's just kind of just inside that entrance archway. Beyond that is the Hall of Worship, and then that's kind of a secondary gate into the plaza, and the plaza leads to literally everything else. So that's how you get to like the communal eating area and the kitchen. Like you're outside in this big open area that used to be like ponds and that kind of stuff. There's also an area of this outside camp that's been like walled off, not by like stone, but by like I guess it'd be like a bamboo wall. It looks like a prison, essentially. You haven't been in there, you don't know what's going on, but yeah, as you can see on the map, it's a re-education camp. But yeah, that's where they got people that they're like helping figure out how to be better citizens. But yeah, everything else is through the Hall of Worship where you went before. So that's where that kid is headed. He's headed into the hall, and then from there, kind of anywhere else in the temple.
Okay. I'm not trying to like stealthily follow him, so I don't want to make a stealth roll or anything, but I'll follow him as far as I can till I get stopped.
Okay. Yeah. So the kid goes into the former Hall of Worship, where they're now clearing out the shattered remains of that statue. The hall itself has many like side passages and other rooms. It probably has like a basement. Maybe there's some like catacombs or whatever down there. But this kid goes right through, and you notice that the child like gets like is treated with reverence, right? Not like worshipped or bowed before, but people will stop what they're doing and like bow their head in respect as this kid goes by. And the kid doesn't like wander like a child, right? The kid is just like got a place to go and is going there. And so you follow through the Hall of Worship and you come back into the Central Plaza. And the Central Plaza is like a huge open area that is full of smaller buildings. So off to one side, there's a building, sort of a squat building where there's like steam rising from it. You can see some dormitories off to one side. There is a beautiful like mansion essentially that looks kind of out of place. Like it's beautiful and expensive and sits off to one side next to another kind of temple-looking building. And the only thing in this place that doesn't look like anyone is coming or going from it is this kind of hall with the enormous tower with the gas at the back, where we saw the kind of light and whatever reflecting at a great distance, and then there was like smoke or something coming from that building. But it looks like everybody's kind of avoiding that place. This kid basically makes a beeline for the temple building, for the inner sanctum.
Okay. Am I getting stopped at all, or am I getting looks at all for following him? Or no?
People just are coming. People are coming and going, right? You did like it's got this vibe of a military camp, but like nobody seems to care that you're back here in the plaza. It's not like there's like guards or anything. There were some guards out front, but
Yeah. Okay. I keep following him.
okay. All right. So this is the part where that changes. So the child walks to the doors of this inner sanctum, this high priest's quarters. All of this is kind of unfamiliar to you because you're like I guess in your tribe, like the shaman would have like a tent or a cave or whatever set apart from everyone else, right? Like
Right.
where they would perform their rites of communion with the earth and stuff. But this is all like human religion. But you can recognize the sort of sanctity of a place regardless. So you can see this beautiful kind of sanctum building, and this is where the kid goes. And there are guardians standing outside, and these guardians look different. They have skin that almost like Yota's is like pale, like white, like not human skin color. You can see like their necks, you can see some parts of their arms. They're wearing armor. They're wearing a some kind of variation of a Court of Swords, like lamellar type armor. They have halberds, and they're wearing masks over their face. And the masks are in the shape of they're not skulls. They're like it would be like a single piece of, it wouldn't be silver because silver would be too expensive, but like a plain metal, like tin maybe, that has been crafted to look like a sleeping visage. Can you make a religion check for me? 4. Okay. All right. Yeah. This is some weird human shit. You don't know what the fuck's going on. The masks are different, right? They're not wearing the same masks, but they look like they have like no eye holes. The masks have closed eyes and a sort of placid expression on them. You can see on some like hair that's sort of been carved. One of them has like a beard, but you don't have any fucking clue what these dudes are. But they move. They have halberds that are blocking the door, and they move them to one side as the kid goes into the sanctum.
Okay. I'll try to pass. I'm assuming they're going to not let me, but I'll try to just walk
yeah. They hold they resume blocking. They physically block the door by the crossed bars of their halberds. But when you approach, they say nothing.
Is there anyone that looks like the person to talk to here, or is it just them?
It's just them. Maybe if you look around, you see that a couple of people are like, what's that guy doing? Like, you should know better than to approach the inner sanctum.
On the inside,
so there's maybe
or
some
outside?
Concern on the outside. You can't see inside, but on the outside, like there's like maybe you look and there's a group of people who you catch who are like staring at you, and they like look away, like, oh god, we should go.
I'm gonna sit down on the ground right in front of them and just sit here and wait.
Okay. All right.
I don't know how long, as long as it takes until someone walks out.
Right. The Shaolin steps approach, right? Like,
Yeah.
again, this is the thing that Ramos would recognize right away, right? Like, especially for like traditionalist monks, like monks of the sun, like most temples, if you want to study at them, if you want to learn the secret fucking karate of the sun, you got to go to the temple and beg them. And they're like, no, fuck off. And you're like, but I must. And you like sit down on the front doorstep and you're just like, I will not move. And they like hit you with brooms. They throw cold water on you and they're just like, get out, you're shit. We don't want you. And you're like, I must learn from you. Teach me your special karate. So yeah, you just fucking stretch out, sit down. And you're like, all right, man, see what you got.
Yep.
So when you sit down, we'll cut over. Yota, you're feeling a little bit itchy. What are you gonna do? Where are you going? What are you doing?
So I'm standing out there alone because Mahariva's just left with my jug. And I'm gonna listen to, because there's lots of people around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's people just coming and going, working, doing shit.
I'm going to walk around and listen for any sign of revelry or party. Anybody getting, loud and sloshing of drink. I'm looking for alcohol.
Right. Yeah. You're jonesing. You're just looking for like a cool barbecue or something. People giving out beers.
Yep.
Yeah. couldn't get your own stash in, so now you're just like cruising from camp to camp looking for somebody who's going to give you some free acid. So yeah,
All the while lying to myself that I'm not doing that.
of course, yeah. All right, so make a perception check.
Okay. There we go.
Okay, all right. So I think instead of that, that happening, so you're out looking for a party, but you got a 9, so you do not find the party you were hoping for. So you're walking around by yourself, and you got a 9. What's your armor class?
17.
17, eh? All right. Let's see how it goes.
What?
Okay. I got a 21. So give me
I can see that. Thank you. I know what numbers are.
Now you're a monk, so I'm gonna. Can you read what's that catching missile thing? What is that ability? Can you read that ability for me? Or just like post it into the thing so everybody else can read it too.
You betcha.
All right. So
you can use your reaction to deflect or catch the missile when you're hit by a ranged weapon attack. When you do so, the damage you take from the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus your dexterity modifier plus your monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0, you can catch the missile if it's small enough.
Right. I love that you do not have to be able to perceive the attack. Right. I was looking for that, like that you can see or that you expect, but it's just when you get hit. It's pretty good. All right. You go ahead and it's a rock, so it's only gonna deal you 4 damage. But you go ahead and make that roll. Because obviously you're gonna reduce it to nothing.
1d10 plus dex, which is 4, plus monk, which is 11, so 15. 1d10 plus 15.
Okay, sick.
Jeez.
You got a 17. You don't take any damage. Okay. Somebody hucks a rock at you. You catch it. Would you like to throw it back at them? I'm not gonna let you like figure out who they are or like whatever. You got a 9 in your perception. You just got a snap decision. Just fucking chuck it back in the direction it came from, or just drop it.
I chuck it back.
Fucking
for sure.
Yeah, you do.
Because it's. I mean, all right. It's just fair. Fair's fair.
Okay, cool. I hope you just obliterate this nerd. They're within 20 feet. Make an attack roll. You're gonna get to use. It's like you're proficient with it no matter what.
Okay. Let's see here.
I like how chat's like, it's a 5-year-old. That would be pretty funny. I would definitely like that'd be a thing I would totally do. Like, yeah, you hook the rock and you beam the kid and he's dead. But no, it's not. I have there's another plan for this. But yeah, go ahead and make a it's an attack roll. It's with proficiency. Yeah, dexterity plus proficiency. Yeah.
Okay. 25.
Shit, yeah. All right, now you roll. You roll a d4 plus 1.
Okay.
And I'll just roll for. Okay, so you get 3. I'll roll for their hit points.
Oh God.
They have exactly 3. So, I mean, you're gonna like knock them. You're gonna knock them out or whatever. So here's what happens: you're just walking around, and you hear this faint grunt. You hear this like, huh, and then you hear like a whistling sound, and then you're just like, what do you do? Do you just like catch it with your hand? And then you just turn around and huck it as hard as you can.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. You spin around. It's like snap that shit.
Yep.
All right. Yeah. And then so again, like you turn and just pivot and whip it back. It whistles through the air. You hear a crunch, and then a thump, and then you hear make a charisma saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Make a charisma saving throw because you either hear laughing or anger, right? Because it's like either they think that the person who threw the rock at you is a jackass, or they're like, "How fucking dare you?" And then you get got, you get come at by some.
I'm gonna use my inspiration for this.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
it's great. I love.
Oh fucking what, son of a!
Oh no! All right. So you know that thing that happens when somebody picks a fight and then they lose and their friends are like, how dare you attack him like that? Like, you fucking jackass. So you turn and you see, let's see, how many of these guys, they travel in packs? You see 8 dudes, minus
All
1
right.
dude. You see 7 dudes. And they're like,
right.
they're not wearing armor, but they like, you know, they got clubs and shit. And they're like looking at you. One of them is on the ground. Somebody else is kneeling next to him. Like, oh my God. He like, you hit him right in the face. There's like a guy's face is all fucking, there's blood and shit like in the ground. And they're just looking at you like, how dare you? How dare you do this to him?
One should not
and
throw
they
stone if one's face is vulnerable to them.
and they just fucking kung fu charge you. They just like run at you. So you want to roll initiative real quick?
Yes, I do. God damn it, you betcha.
I don't think this is gonna last very long, but like, yeah, these soldier dudes, they're like,
Man,
they're
+4 and I roll a deuce.
all right. Let me
Oh, you scrolled up a little bit, JP, I think.
let's see here.
Nope, it's because the initiative dropped in. It'll get fixed when it rolls.
Okay, so let me roll for these soldier dudes.
Because what happened?
The initiative bar at the top dropped in. It pushed it down, so then the thing pushed down as well.
All right, man. There are 6 of them because 1 is tending to the unconscious guy.
Wow.
And
Crit fail.
yeah, and they blow it. You're too fast. What do you do? You just want to rush them?
Yeah, well, I mean, I like look at there's 8 of them, right?
Yes, there's like 7 and a bit because one guy's just like toast. So
He threw the stone. He got the stone thrown back. I say the transaction is complete, but if you wish to continue this nonsense, I'm willing to oblige you.
and they wanna
Okay.
they would love it if you would oblige them.
Good. Then I'll start whapping as many people as possible.
Yeah, so you just want to jump in there? All right. Yeah,
Yep.
Give her.
I'm in a
I
fucking
think
mood anyway.
yeah, right? That's kind of what I was thinking. So they just like surround you and start beating on you with clubs, but you have the initiative. So you just jump in the fray and start fucking throwing punches. So yeah, go ahead. Do the do.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a quick look around and see if there are any like sticks or simple weapons, basically. Improvised weapons, maybe.
They all have clubs. You could try to take one of them away from them.
Well, I think that's the first thing I'm gonna do is try and like knock someone out and then like take their shit.
Yeah, I think that would be your best bet. Would be to knock somebody out and take their club.
Because it's funky, but a lot of the shit requires melee weapon attacks in Monkville.
I feel like an unarmed attack from a monk this is like a fucking classic Jeremy Crawford's Twitter account situation, but I'm pretty sure that for all of your stuff, you can do it unarmed. You don't actually need a weapon. Yes.
Okay, cool. I'm looking at Stunning Strike. It says, when you hit another creature with a melee weapon attack, you can spend a key
you got two melee weapons. You got a lefty and a righty. So you're good.
Okay, so these do count.
And your legs and your head and whatever, yes.
Okay, cool.
You are a deadly weapon yourself.
Okay. All right, cool then. Then I'll give the first guy a smack in the face.
Okay.
14.
You hit because they're not armored.
11.
Now, here's the question. How are you trying to kill these dudes?
Oh God, no.
Because you could.
No, I'm trying to
knock them out.
Murder.
All right, that's fine. It's good to know. All right, boom. You just
I want to knock enough of them out so quickly that the other whatever's left will go like, fucking sorry, dude.
Yeah.
So I make it a show. Totally. I'm trying to make it flashy. Like, okay, pow, one down, boom, another one down. Yeah.
Yeah, you just fucking leap in there, flying kick one dude. He gets knocked to the ground. You got more attacks, right? Do it.
Yep. And then now flurry of blows.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the same target.
No.
Okay.
You could, if you roll real good, you could just knock out all these guys pretty much in
you
one go.
could look real fucking cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you get 2 attacks. So you do 1 attack, and then you can flurry, right?
Yep, 2 extra unarmed strikes.
So flurry, let me look, because you just got to check and see what your bonus action situation is. So flurry of blows, is it you use your bonus action? Yeah. So spend a key point, make 2 more unarmed strikes.
Yep.
So you're down 2 key points, but whatever.
Am I? Oh, that's right. I forgot to.
You
take
spent one
for
to
the throw.
huck
The
missile.
throwback. Yep.
Yep.
Not to catch it, but to throw it. Got it. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. 1 more unarmed strike. 17.
Yep. It's a hit.
12.
Toast. Yep. No problem.
1 more. 11.
That is a miss. Oh no, wait.
Okay.
No, 11's a hit. You got him. No,
Okay.
they don't. Yeah, their AC is. You got another guy.
Okay. 12.
Boom. That one's down too. Kablamo. Spin kicks and what have you.
So those are my.
Okay.
It's one fucking backhand, and then a kick to the fucking ribs to another guy, and then fucking uppercut on one. So 3 down in a matter of seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I think you jump in and do this so fast that all 3 of them are like in midair at the same time, and then you land, and they all thump, they all land. You have another attack still.
Yep, my second attack.
Yep.
Here we go. 17.
Okay, totally a hit. Yep.
Okay. 6.
Okay. Yep. Take them out.
Yep.
Boom.
Okay. And then let's see. After that, so my bonus action is done.
You used your bonus action. You've done both your attacks.
But after flurry of blows, I can do.
You can move.
Drunken technique, which means disengage and then add plus 10 speed. So it goes pow, pow, kick, pow, bump. And then I do like a little somersault backwards. Mm-hmm. And you see him stand on 1 foot, make a big fucking show of it with this very, very much like Ganesha, trunk up in the air, and this trunk comes down and goes beckoning them, come on.
Yeah.
Come on,
all right, they
motherfucker.
charge you on their turn. They run at you with their clubs, and they come over and they start swinging at you.
Now here's my question. My question to you is, can I get far enough away so they can't move fast enough to get to me?
Not this turn, but after this, you could run off with your drunken technique. Yeah. All right. Okay. So you do take some hits. They come running in. And they aren't swinging on you. Ignore that slashing. This is bludgeoning damage. They're not slashing clubs. So you take 6. They both get 2 attacks. The other one misses.
Hold on.
Yeah.
And now, finally, are they kind of grouped up? Maybe.
Yeah, they're next to each other. Yeah, totally.
Because I've never had a chance to do this, which is the deflect. Or the what's it called? It's called the
use your elephant karate on them. This is the stop hitting your friend thing. Yeah. So the first guy, he comes running in, he hits you with the club. Maybe you twist to face the blow. He takes another swing at you, and then you can spend a key point to redirect the blow.
Yep, there it is. Tipsy sway. Redirect attack when a creature misses. You can spend a key point as a reaction to cause that attack to hit one creature of your choice. So I fucking bat his hand away with bat the club away with my trunk, and he bips his friend in the face with it.
It's his friend? Okay, just goons him. There's no more attacks because he hit the guy who hadn't attacked yet and fucking drops him. So he hits you once, takes another swing, and then you're just not there, and he cracks his friend in the face, and he goes over backwards. His nose is all blood everywhere, and he hits the ground. And then this one guy turns back to you what the fuck is going on here? It's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Okay, one guy left.
Yeah, well, I mean 2, because there's dude over here who's just holding his friend's bleeding body.
Okay. whoever's still a threat, I'm gonna fucking punch in the face.
Yeah, it's just this one dude in front of you.
Okay.
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 Done. He's out. You got him.
Yeah.
Toast.
Yeah.
Cool, you hit him.
Kind of like I'm breathing hard, like, and I kind of like look around their camp to see like if there's any like
there's just like unconscious bodies all over the place. The one over here takes the friend and they just run off.
Mm.
He like picks up this like guy. He's like, oh my god, come on, let's get out of here, and they run off.
And I just kind of like walk over to where they were like grouped up. It's a camp, right? Or it was just a group of guys standing around?
I mean, it's a group of guys that just like came after you. You don't know where they came from. You didn't really see. Somebody hucked a rock at you, and then the rest of them like came after you.
Well, I was wondering if there was like a campfire or tents or something.
Not that you can see. No.
Okay. I like look down at the nearest knocked out person and see if there's any like signifying marks or anything that I recognize, symbols or whatever.
Make an investigation check.
Okie dokie. 11.
Okay. Yeah. Nah, they just look like laborers. They're not wearing armor or anything. They're just trying to hit you with sticks.
Okay. I look down.
Yeah.
I look around to see if anybody's like whistling for the cops or anything.
Nah. I mean, I don't think maybe you got the speech, but if we remember back to the last episode, there was that thing at the beginning when you all came inside where they were like, listen, we don't have a lot of rules. Mostly you're just like responsible for your own shit. And if you pick a fight and you get your ass whooped, like tough on you, I guess, which is what just happened here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I look down at the guy and see if there's like a wineskin or fucking anything. You know what I want at him. I'm looking for that. Any of these guys have that on them?
Yeah, it's such a good like tonal whiplash too, because like you're the like serene kung fu master, and now you're like, man, I hope one of these guys has got like a half full beer can in their pocket somewhere, because damn, daddy needs a drink.
Dude, that addictions, man, they toppled like highest
right.
king of the
And
low
all
poppers,
of a sudden, you're rolling these dudes for like a smoke.
Whoa. Not rolling anybody. They started it. I finished it. Okay. And they owe me a drink
just saying.
for throwing a rock.
Yeah. Let me I'll roll. I'll say there's like a 50-50 chance one of them's got like a wineskin or something.
Okay.
No, they do not. You find like an empty. They got drunk first, which is maybe why you kicked their ass. But yeah, no, they got nothing. They got nothing on them. Yep.
I kind of lean down and like put my trunk like on their neck to make sure their heart's still beating. And as long as everybody's like alive, I'll just walk away into the night.
Yeah, totally. You just like step over one of them and just gracefully head off looking for a fix. Okay. Yeah. All right.
And honestly, so as I walk away, like this is the first time in a while that I've been actually proud of myself. So like there's just a smile on my face. My big fat elephant head just has a big old shit-eating grin on it.
Yeah. I was gonna say, as you walk away, we hear like a traditional Chinese cover of the Incredible Hulk theme. Right, that sad like walking away music.
Yeah.
But like, you know, on like a sitar or something. But yeah, so you walk off and and fade into the distance. Maharib, I think you're the only one with like time kind of left, but nobody comes out and talks to you. The masked figures don't acknowledge your existence. There's like no traffic in or out of this place, and so you just hang out. You get a nice long staring contest with these masked dudes.
All right.
How long before you're just like, nah, this is some dumb shit, and you leave?
Till someone comes out from within.
Listen for the
I'm there-
subtle
I'm there all
clues the
night.
DM is giving you.
No, I mean no one will, but that's
Yeah.
the thing is like
4
Maharib
days
doesn't know
later.
that. Yeah, right. So what happens is we have this shot of Maharib like sitting cross-legged, like staring at the guys, and then we get that kind of clock wipe, and it's just like a decomposing skeleton and just falls over. It's like 40 years later. Yeah, no, you just sit there until your life ends. But yeah, like I mean, dawn will come and no one will come and go.
That's fine.
So yeah, okay, all right. So maybe you like come back to the camp, or do you just wait there forever?
Oh no, I'm gonna wait till I'll give you a maximum. You tell me that, or we'll say that.
Sure.
I'll wait there for up to 24 hours.
Okay, all right. So eventually Berg and Yotazo come back to the tent where Ramus is sleeping, and you guys get some rest. And the next morning, the three of you wake up. Maharib does not come back. Maharib, can you make a Constitution saving throw for me, Maharib?
Okay.
Before we get back to these guys.
He shit
You know,
himself.
15.
No, he's staying up all night. All right, you're not exhausted. You don't have a level of exhaustion or anything. You're good.
Cool.
Adam, during the night, I was taking the time to identify the ring that Maharib gave me, the one with the I think fish on it.
You don't have any of your rings.
the fucking
Speaking of
fish.
rings,
Yeah, you don't have
Oh
any.
yeah,
of your
that's
rings.
right. You don't have
Never
any of
mind.
your own rings. But I don't think you were wearing it. I think it was like
Yeah.
in your
Wasn't
pocket,
wearing it.
right?
If you weren't wearing it, then yeah. But you also realize
So-
you don't have any of your rings.
Yeah,
You
that makes
traded
you
all
right.
of your rings. Someone robbed your fingers, but you have
Robbed is
instead
such
this,
a
I forgot about that.
harsh
this
word.
fish ring. I mean, you know, burgled. You got hand burgled, son. So the hand burglar. Right? Yeah, I hand burgled your mom all night. So
hand burglar, robble.
yeah, you got struck by the hand burglar. So you wake up and you wanna like identify this ring. So this
Yeah.
was the ring that we found on the body of the monk who was face down in a puddle of water. Right, this like dead monk. It's a ring of water breathing. Ironically, yeah, it's a ring of water breathing. And it's in the shape. I think it has a name, but I can't remember. I'll look it up for you. Yeah, but apparently this monk did not attune to that ring before he drowned in a pool of water.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, so maybe you get a little chuckle out of that guy. So that's what you have. Yeah, so you get that ring, and you can attune to it if you want or whatever, or you can wait until you have all your rings back and choose from them.
Yeah.
But that is what that one does. Yeah, so the three of you, it is morning in the camp, which is much like night but brighter, and you awaken and realize that Maharib is nowhere to be seen. What do you do?
And do I feel better after a long night's rest?
Yeah, you feel way better, dude. You feel like resting on purpose is way, way better for you than being knocked into a weird supernatural coma. 8 hours of sleep will do you. So yeah, you're feeling better. You're feeling, I would say you have returned to optimal Ramus levels. You're feeling good.
Okay.
If anybody's watching Yotazo or the camera's watching him, like you see him like wake up, like shake his head a little bit and like wipe his eyes and stuff. And then like his eyes just get real huge because he can't, the Maharib is not around, but more importantly, the fucking wine jug is not here.
Mm-hmm.
So I get up and I go, "Where's Maharib? Where has anyone seen him? It's dawn. I need to see him."
Which one of you took my accoutrement from my fingers?
Good question.
Akutra, what do you say?
My rings. They're not here. We're out. You want to be
Accoutrement is an Elvish word. Like it totally is, right? Like the Farang, the equivalent in this universe, the Farang are like the French. So and Ramus speaks Elvish, so accoutrement is totally the Elvish word for like fancy shit. That's so good. That's so fucking good. Thank you for that, Dan. That's nice.
No problem.
Mari, did you do that in secret, or you just did that, didn't you?
Yeah. I mean, Yoda knows that I was following the child. That I guess that's
No, the
God, that
rings.
would be.
oh the rings.
The
Yes.
rings.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I took the rings off from
Yeah.
Ramus when it was me and you, Berg, at the gate because I didn't want them.
Yeah. Okay. So I would have seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know
when he
shit
said,
about
when Ramus, when Ramus clarifies his rings, he's talking about he's like,
Oh. Why not just say rings? Stupid. I think Maharib has them borrowed.
Oh, does he? Well, I think I want to find him too, Yoda.
Where
Very
is
strange that
Maharib?
he's got our valuables and he's nowhere to be found.
He's for something of yours too.
I gave him for safekeeping. We're wasting time. And I just start like marching. Like the last time I saw him walk away, I'm following that.
Okay.
Or I walked with
you
him
saw him
a little bit.
Yeah, you saw him headed. You saw him headed towards the the central like building in the monastery, the hall of worship.
Okay. As soon as the trail goes cold, I'll start asking around people around. Like, have you seen? He's big, mean looking, tall. About this,
Yeah,
I
so you-
use my trunk like to show how tall he is.
Yeah, you interrupt a girl who is in the middle of like chipping some kind of like decorative fresco off of a wall. She stops and she looks down at you. She's on like a scaffold, and she's like, "Oh, yes, he's in the plaza, just outside the sanctum. Been there all night, as far as we can tell. He was there when I went to bed, there when I woke up, just sitting in the mud. I think he's gonna become a monk."
Not doubtful. All right. Thank you. And I briskly walk that way.
So, Ramus and Bert, did you follow Yota on his staggering forth mission?
Yes, I'm following the bloodhound to
Right.
Maharib.
It's really more of a booze hound. But yeah, okay. All right. So you are chasing after him. Good. Okay. All right. So you follow and Yota, you I guess this is the first time, Ramus, that you are seeing the temple, right? So this is the hall of worship. This is the place where all of the sort of sacred, like greeting the sun in the morning as it's raised, illuminate the hall. This is where weddings would be held. All of the most important shit happened here. And this is strange for you because it's being dismantled. It's being taken apart, right? It's like the central statue of the ancient bodhisattva has been torn down. All of the frescoes and stuff, you can see them being deconstructed. Like they're taking this place apart step by step, and doing so methodically. Like this isn't like battle damage. So you walk into this place, following Yota Zo. And then Yota turns and walks out.
Yeah, I'm just like caught there for a minute, like, wow, just taking all in. Like it looks so different. Like I never liked the place, but I don't like it this way
Right.
either. It's like,
Yeah. So it's like it's just different and weird, totally. Yeah, and so when you follow Yota Zo outside, you enter the central plaza, which again, like for you remember green grass, you remember sunlight, you remember all the like bad shit too, but it's easier after all of these years to just remember kind of like the stuff that sticks, which tends to be like the kind of positive memories. And I think that when you enter this place, you have context, right? So you look to one side and you see the orphanage, you see the school where you learned your lessons, right? You see the dormitories where the older kids lived. You see a building that used to be the library that is now a pile of like burnt stone and timbers, right? Smoke kind of still pouring from a fire that's been burning for a while here. You see the kitchen, your stomach grumbles a little because you ran out before eating, but seeing the kitchen and the communal like eating hall, you see that building and you remember the like gruel that you choked down as a kid. And even despite yourself, your body is just like, yeah, gruel, remember?
Mm-hmm.
And your stomach grumbles. Yeah, and as you track your vision, as we watch through Ramus's eyes, you see the Hall of Mirrors and the Solarium, right? The tower, the Sun Tower. You were never allowed in this place. It was a sacred place, and this was where the power of the sun's light was harnessed for miracles, right? Mostly, this was where they took dead bodies. You remember there being a lot of crying. You remember a lot of like funereal white. There were processions through the plaza that brought people to this hall, and then they never came back out again, right? Their bodies were taken into this place and then vanished. And then as you continue to track around, you see the inner sanctum where you knew that the high priest lived. And near that, the benefactor's manor, which again, both of those places, highly off limits. The benefactor's manor is where the Gaja that basically paid for all this shit would live when they came to visit. And you remember having to learn special songs to praise them. You remember standing in the hall of worship as a child, like singing with all the other orphans, sacred songs of thanks to these Gaja who, like, you were not even allowed to look at. You just had to like stare at the floor while you were singing because they were too sacred. And outside the inner sanctum, sitting on his Goliath butt in the mud, staring at two very strange masked guards, which you definitely don't recognize as being part of this whole operation, is Maharib.
Oh.
There we are.
There you are. Where have you been? What have you been doing?
I think I'm facing away from you guys when you first see me, so my head turns out. I stand up. I realize I haven't poured the alcohol out yet because I've been sitting here the entire time. Is there like a latrine near Adam? Do they have like a sewer system?
There's definitely no plumbing in this ancient temple.
I know.
This ancient, slightly pre-medieval temple. No, but
What you're
like
looking for
over
is a
by.
shithole. A hole of shit.
Yeah.
Yes, there would be a place that you would be able to relieve yourself, but it would be
Further away from this, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I stand up. I probably collected dust. It's been a while, 15, 12 hours, however long. Yeah, so I stand up, kind of dust myself off. Yeah, you see me take a long yawn and turn around. Oh, yes, I was hoping someone would come out, but they did not for almost the entire night.
What did you see? Anything?
Nothing. The kid walked inside and no one else came out. These two have been here all night. There's no guard shift or anything. I like
Very
point
well.
to the two as if they're not actual. They're just like placeholders in Maharib's mind. So they're not actual real people.
Can I have my
I'll take
stuff,
that,
please?
Yes, stuff. My jug as well.
Yes, I have not emptied the jug yet. You let me do that. I'll give it to you soon.
No, it's a new dawn, which means that I can fill it back up with whatever liquid I choose.
Right, and you gave it to me to make sure that liquid was not in there, so.
Let me see if you need to be attuned Let me see if you need to be attuned to this particular jug to make it work.
It's not in Roll20.
Yes, that's right. It's because it's in the Dungeon Master's Guide, and that hasn't been
Put in.
licensed for Roll20 yet. But I've got it here. Let me look. What's it called?
Okay.
An Alchemy Jug?
Yep, Alchemy Jug.
Okay.
I love the picture of it too.
Alchemy Jug. Yeah, it's got all these fucking spigots and stuff on it.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Wondrous item, uncommon. Take an action. Fills up. Okay, all right. So anybody can use it. Maharib, you can, if you want, just like
Say.
fill it with something. Yeah,
But
right now.
My understanding is that once it's depleted, it still has a certain amount of more to be filled with, right? Or is it only one
No.
fill per time?
Once per day, it can pick a thing. So right now, here's what I'm saying. You could do. You could be like,
Oh no, I
"Here's
understand
your
what you're
jug."
saying. I was just making sure that
Okay,
it can't be
yeah.
filled back.
No, yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Okay. Then whatever I close my eyes and think of honey.
Okay, sure, perfect.
No, I'm the only one who can fill that up.
Yeah, and so
Right.
Maharib just hands it to you.
Yeah, I hand it back to you. And there's honey in it.
All right. I do my thing and I think of
Yeah.
like wine immediately and
Yeah.
I tip it up.
Yeah, you just
And
get
just
a
honey, you
big
see like
old-
this.
just a big old mouthful of liquid amber, just blop, this big sugary glop, just fills your mouth. It's a gallon of honey, right? Like that it makes.
That's the funny
like,
thing.
That
It's
is
like you
that's
have
a
much
Costco
wine.
sized.
That's so
Like-
gross.
Your whole mouth is filled with honey.
Yeah. I think I step back and just say, it'll be hard, but this is for the better.
Why did you do that? I know why you did that.
I needed to see that so much. Thank you for that, Maharib.
Yes.
That is the most hilarious thing I've seen in so long. See a
Yes,
Gaja covered in honey making a fool of himself. It's amazing.
Well, and that's the first thing. Like Ramus, you haven't had your soul back for very long, so you haven't really seen anything funny. So yeah, you're probably tickled pink right now. Like it's not that funny, but like you haven't felt this human emotion they call funny in a long time. So like yeah, it's pretty hilarious. Feels good.
And then
I-
Yota gets an idea and walks away from the group and just walks very quickly in another direction and he's looking to trade the honey for wine.
just looking around like somebody's got to have some wine. So while all this is happening, you're still kind of in the vicinity. Maharib, you hear the sound of, and I guess Berg and Maharib both, because you're trained warriors. So you hear the rattling of armor, and you turn and you see that the guards have shifted. They've moved their pikes up this way, and they're standing. And inside, the door has opened, and you see that little kid. He's dressed differently though now. Now he's wearing white, like it would be like Imperial Court loungewear, like the kind of thing you would wear just like in your house. Like he's got these little like white jeweled slippers, and he's got a little like coat and like silk pajamas basically. And he's standing in the door, and he sees you, and he looks at Ramus, who he hasn't seen before, and he bows. And this time he gives you the Y, right? He puts his hands up and bows to you, Ramus. And he says, "This sanctum is blessed by your presence. My mother wishes to speak with the four of you."
Who are you?
"I am Sen, and you are the Ramus Krill. You're not as tall as I thought you would be."
Why did you call me the Ramus Krill?
And he puts his hands out and he says, "We all have names. That is yours."
Fine. Well, are we ready to see his mother? I look at everyone else.
I've been waiting all night for this, so yes. I like yawn again. I think I turn as well. Where did Yota go?
Oh,
So we
before
cut
I
over.
forget,
We cut
Give
over
me
to
my
we cut over to
things.
Yota.
Yeah.
So Yota, you found somebody you're like bargaining with, like they've got like a they're holding like a bottle of like cognac or something, and they're just like, I don't know if I need a gallon of honey. Like that's a lot of honey. I don't know what I would use it for.
Whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, as much as you'd like, I have a lot.
And they're like, I don't know. That's a fine looking jug, though. I would definitely trade you this wine for that jug.
And he like stops like dead, and he has to fucking really think about it.
Right? Like you would get wine today. It's the golden goose situation, right? Like,
Right.
and then you notice, you look up, you
Rather-
notice your friends looking at you.
Rather than that, would you take gold?
Yota, we're going inside. What are you doing?
I'm getting breakfast.
Yeah, and the man is like, no, we don't need gold here. Just and he's like, I'm gonna keep my wine. He turns around.
I'm gonna keep my wine.
That's what he says. He's like, I think I'll keep it. You know what? It's fine. I'm gonna go.
Are you sure? I have plenty
And
of
he nods.
things to
and
trade.
He just kind of tries to wave you off, like, oh, your friends are trying to get your attention. Like, come on, get out of here.
I like. Do I see where the wine is?
He's holding his hand because you asked him if he had any, and he like brought it out.
Okay.
Like, oh, of course. Yeah, he's just holding
Okay.
it.
Okay. Do you know anyone else who might have some? If you're not willing to part with yours,
And he
I'm-
just
I'm-
shrugs and he. Yeah, he shrugs and he says, it's a soldiers' camp. Soldiers love drinking. Find one of them.
is there nothing you want?
He just shakes his head. He's like, I'm a simple man. I think I'll keep my wine.
And then you hear kind of a semi-loud trumpet, like just out of anger. And then I turn
Yeah,
back
right.
to Maharib and no breakfast here. I join him.
I think you come back to
Yeah.
me, like removing the rings from my pouch after trying to find them. It took a long time. I think there was 4 or something like that. Ramus, I plop them over.
It was you who hand burgled.
Mm.
So yeah, Ramus hands your ring back.
You would have got in trouble for hamburgering back in the day.
In my tribe, you would be dead.
Yeah, that's what Ramus should have said. I think as I hand them back, I start explaining. Well, we were coming into the city. I did not want them to ask for them off your body, so I decided to hide them. I was not stealing.
I know. You don't value pretty things like some of us do, and that's fine. More for me.
Yes. And I turn around. May we come in? I say to the little child.
Yeah. And Sen says, like, of course. Turns
Okay.
around, goes into the sanctum.
I walk in.
So, inside the sanctum, everybody can make religion checks as soon as you walk in, because things are weird in here. I just need to know how much to tell everybody. All right, I hurry up turning it around on the 18.
Unless Berg wants to crit.
Yeah, Berg, you want to try to do it?
Religion.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. Do it, Berg.
Uh-huh.
Do it.
Where is it? I'm trying to find it. Do it. There it is. Ooh.
Not bad.
Close. All right. Okay. So Yota and Ramus, which is ironic because you're the ones with the like religious background. This place is unsettling. It's weird and wrong. It still maintains a kind of like a temple or shrine like vibe, right? Like it's like walking into a library. You just know to like shut up, shush. But as you come in, you notice that like the traditional mirror hanging over the door, the incense, like all of that stuff is around, but it's been shifted or changed. The mirrors have been replaced. The architecture has been like shifted, right? Like they've blocked off some of the hallways. The chi, the like flow of chi in here is like just all out of whack. But Maharib and Berg, you recognize that normally the reason that the discipline of feng shui exists, the reason why we put mirrors by the door, why things are colored certain ways, why architecture is structured the way that it is to invite in good luck and prosperity, and to give bad luck and improsperity, bad luck and stuff, an opportunity to escape, right? To funnel the good shit in and to send out the bad stuff. Everything in here is backwards. So it's like, good luck, get out. Good karma, good vibes, stay the fuck out of my house. All the ghosts, all the bad ghosts, come on in, right? Trap the ancestor spirits, trap the bad luck. So like it's organized in a very unsettling way. And it looks like they're reorganizing this place to channel negative hoodoo, right? It's like a bad magnet for bad luck. So yeah. That
To
appears
quote
to have the structure.
Ghostbusters, she's living in the corner penthouse of Spook Central.
That's right, exactly. So yeah, they've rearranged this place. And yeah, actually, like Berg, I think probably some of this stuff, maybe the reason why you got the 16, some of this stuff seems familiar to you, like this kind of intentional thumbing your nose at karma, is a thing. And you recognize. So. Yeah, so you walk the halls. Does anybody say anything or make note that they're like unsettled by this, or do you all kind of keep it to yourself?
I don't. Mahari wouldn't say anything. He has no reason to. Maybe after the fact, once we leave, he might bring it up, but.
Yeah, I don't think I really say anything out loud. Just internalizing it.
Okay. Yeah. Then the kid prompts something. He says to you as you're walking, he says to you, Ramus, what do you think? We've made some changes to the place.
I'm curious as to why this way. Why would you
Well,
invite, bad luck in?
Mother says that good luck and bad luck are mistranslations. Our language comes to us from the Pure Land, and so all of our words are tainted by its influence. It would be better, perhaps, to think instead of good and bad, of bright and dark. We simply reject heaven's bright karma and invite instead its alternate.
I can see that. I've never given it a fair shot. I've only believed what I was told. It's time I see for myself.
Mother will be pleased that that is your attitude.
Are we going to have an audience with her today? Do you think?
Yes. Now, in fact.
Excellent.
Is there any custom for greeting? Or I don't know the customs with your people versus the norm.
No. Once, Mother was, as I understand, someone of significance in the court, a figure of power. But she left all of that behind. She is instead just the one who is responsible for us, who cares for us. Simply a servant. Treat
Did
her
she
with
have a
respect.
name? Oh, sorry.
Actually, yeah, he says treat her with respect if you believe that she deserves it. Choose not to. But there are consequences to every action.
Did she have a name before Gravedirt, or has that always been her name?
She gave her name away in exchange for her new life, for the power she now wields. I do not know what it was before. If I did, I would not utter it here. But she was someone important. King, perhaps. But these things don't matter anymore. Or won't soon enough.
Very well. Before we have an audience, we rushed here as fast as we could this morning, and we have neglected to feed ourselves. Is there any way we can have some food before we sit down?
And smiles and says, Mother would not allow your hunger to go unanswered. I am sure that she has refreshments prepared. Please. And you notice at that point you've reached a door. It's a like a hexagon-shaped doorway that is open, but there is a curtain of black fabric hanging in front of it. And as you approach, the curtains just kind of peel back and move aside, and the smell of incense like wafts from beyond. You can smell that kind of like candle wax, kind of like, you know, when you like go into a room and there's candles burning, you can smell like that kind of tallow smell in the air. And you can smell this incense that I think all of you have smelled before. Maybe Maharib, you haven't, but like it's funeral incense. Like you use it when you are like ushering someone off to like their destiny, right? When you're getting rid of their body. So you smell this like funereal kind of incense smell. And Sen gestures for the group of you to go inside.
Yep, I go inside.
Okay. So yeah, Sen waits as you all walk through. But he doesn't follow. He stops.
You will not be joining us?
Of course not. These matters are not suitable for a child. And then he bows, and the curtain falls shut on its own. Now the room beyond.
I say this to the curtain just
yeah,
if you are
as the curtain is shutting.
Then I am a fairy princess.
So as you the thing there's, and you turn around and we get a nice like pan around of the room. So this inner sanctum chamber would have been, I guess, like it'd be an uneven pentagon. So there would be a single short wall and 4 like wider walls. Probably the wall that you are entering is the small one, and there's like a kind of diamond shaped. So like a truncated diamond, kind of like shitty Adam Coble drawing time. So it would be shaped like this, and then like with this short wall, kind of like a leaf. So the door is here, and you'd be entering this way. And then at the back there is a raised section. And if you can run from this back wall all the way around to the wall again, then you score a point.
Okay. All right. I know this game. I've heard of this game. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the 4
Such a
played
big
baseball
mound.
and send signals to level 20.
Where's the umpire?
It's actually a vampire. She's waiting at the back. So anyway, there's this diamond-shaped room.
The vampire.
And yeah, the vampire. And so there's a raised section at the back where there is a seat. There's a stone seat at the back, and behind it there is on the wall. There is there's a sun, right? This image, but with no feature, no face, no arms, because instead it is the like
Inverse?
well, it's the wall behind where something like this would have hung.
Oh,
right?
okay.
So like the actual sun has been removed and the wall itself is so darkened with like hundreds of years of incense smoke and candle soot that there is a clean absence of the sun's mark behind this throne. And as we pan down, we can see sitting on the throne, there is this beautiful woman. She's in her like mid 40s probably, very, very pale skin. She has all of the markings of like royalty. She's wearing on one hand the two long kind of jeweled like fingernail prosthesis that a high royalty of the Court of Swords would wear. She has the ornate headdress with the hanging ornaments. She has her face painted in a courtly style. But all of this stuff, and I don't know, I guess Ramus would be the only one. Ramus and Yota are the only ones like qualify to make this roll. Both of you make a history roll.
Okay.
Wow.
Hey,
Okay,
there's,
so
21.
Yota, her style, like the like sarong kind of thing that she's wearing, her hairstyle, her makeup, it's like, I don't know, like 15 years out of date. Like it's not appropriate for the time. Styles have moved on since then. And so she's sitting, and then surrounding her are maybe like 30 or so like hexagon shaped mirrors, and they're all pointed at her. So the light, which is coming down from a candelabra, a chandelier, a very complex chandelier above her, that light comes down and is all reflecting back up on her. So she is illuminated in in like this kind of glow. And yeah, there's just like maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30 of these mirrors, and they're all, big, 2 or 3 feet across, and they're all just like gestured up at her. And then there's like this path up the room to a set of what you would know to be like supplication benches. So they're like wooden stools for you to kneel on when you address a figure of significance, so that you're not kneeling on the stone of the floor. It's furniture for supplication, and that's sitting in front of her. She has wrapped around her neck like jewelry, this kind of long, delicate sort of chain that hangs down the front of her gown. And then it runs down around one arm to her wrist and then trails off of her fingers and lies in sort of 3 tendrils at her feet in the pool of white silk where her gown ends. So you can't actually see like her legs, because her gown goes onto the floor into this kind of pool of silk, and there's a silver like chain in it. And you walk into the room, and you hear the rustling of the curtains as they draw shut behind you.
Do I know the
The room is,
significance
like,
of the silver chain?
Eerily silent. No, it looks decorative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does she
So
say
what do you do?
anything when the door shuts or no?
Nope.
Do I
She
know
seems
the
to be
proper
sitting
etiquette for-
in. She's sitting in like
Situations
serene contemplation. She just has like her eyes are open but kind of half lidded, and she has a like a look of meditative peace. You've seen this face on many statues of like saints before.
Okay. I think
what I was going to say before is, do I know the proper etiquette?
Do you know the etiquette? I don't know, man. What do you think she is?
I'm assuming that I would address her as I would like. Well, I mean, there's the obvious thing, like in the back of my mind, I'm sure most people's minds, that she's the deposed knight of swords.
The knight of swords. The knight of swords was a man. before he was
So we
killed.
know that.
As far
Yes.
as we know.
Okay.
No, it's common knowledge. He was a celebrity. Everybody knew and loved him. Yeah, he was
Until he got into magic and change.
I mean, maybe you can get reincarnated into whatever you want, but like this is definitely they're not the same.
All right.
I mean, you can polymorph
So
yourself into
if no one
body you
else is taking the lead, since this is more my wheelhouse as far as that kind of stuff, I will supplicate myself as I have seen others do to maybe not us. I'm not sure if we, like back in the day, my family would garner the supplication, but I'm sure we'd been in courts where that would happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
Okay.
you will have to approach. You would kneel on the wooden bench, and then you
Mhm.
would like place your hands on the floor and place your forehead to the floor until basically she told you you were allowed to get up. And I think as you approach, and this speaks
I
to
just
the
wanna
age
say,
of
like,
the yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say, like, this is not like Yota doesn't feel like bad or like embarrassed or like low. This is just protocol.
Yes, this is the appropriate thing to do. Like, as all humans should bow to you, so too would you bow to someone like this, if it's right, if that's what you think. So as you approach, like there are these four like wooden benches set out in front of her, and then a few feet ahead of the benches, there are divots in the stone from people's foreheads touching it. So there's this like indent like a half an inch deep, 4 of them laid out, and you can see spots like round spots on the floor where people's hands have like worn the stone thin. And so you start to approach, and you kneel on the bench and like kneel down. What's everybody else doing as Yota approaches?
I'm not moving forward. I'm staying right at the
Okay.
back of the room, I guess.
Yeah, I wouldn't move forward. I'm supposed to be a bodyguard, although she probably knows who I am. But I'll continue to play the role of being a staunch protector.
Yeah. Okay. So the two of you
I
are gonna stay
walk-
by the door.
I walk up to next to Yota, but I don't kneel. I just stand there with my arms crossed, waiting for her to speak.
Yeah. So Yota, you like bow, and Ramus walks up, and she says, "Would not kneel before me." And as she speaks, her eyes like open, like she tilts her head back slightly, her eyes open, and despite the austerity of color, like this place is monochrome, right? The walls, they used to be garish, like with red and gold, and they've stripped all that away. So you're in basically like a marble box. And the marble itself is white with just like black threads in it. She is only wearing white or silver, but her eyes are like this beautiful jade green. And she just like tips her head back slightly and opens her eyes wide. Like you've taken her out of her meditation, and she says, "You would not bow before me?"
I choose not to bow. I've had to bow all my life to people that I barely know. This time I choose not to bow and do it for myself.
Do you think that I am not worthy of your supplication?
I honestly just don't know who you are.
She gestures with one delicate hand towards Yota. This one chooses to kneel. Do you not trust the judgment of your friends?
I expect him to make his own choice.
So like your father, Yotazo. Stand. He knelt before me as well. And she looks to the back of the room and gestures to the two of you, like, come forward. And when she does, you almost feel like a shove. Like you feel a slight, like a push between your shoulder blades when she gestures, like,
Is it magic?
I mean, you turn around, there's nobody there. You just feel like a little shove.
Yeah, I think Berg goes like looks up, like at her as she's doing that, just kind of giving her an eye. And then, yeah, slowly walks forward.
Yeah, I'll walk forward next to Burke.
Okay. Yeah. So you approach. Why have you come here?
I can't speak for my companions, but I have come here to seek an audience with you and my father. It's been many, many seasons since I've been back to the court, and I would care to see him. And also, I was very curious as to what has happened since I've been away. A lot has changed. Decorations are more, well, less flashy than they used to be. Not a bad change. But, yeah, that's why I'm here.
She turns to the other three of you and says, "And you, Hammer of Heaven?"
Oh shit, she knows who I am. Didn't see that coming.
To assist and support those who need my assistance and support.
And she looks at you, Maharib. Did you not find what you were looking for in the mountains?
I did, but there's always something else. That's why I'm here. But these two have been waiting a lifetime. I've only been here a night, so Ramus and Yota can go first.
And she turns at last to Ramus and she says, "We have great interest in this one. The destiny of the Ramus Krill has been of great curiosity. A man with no soul. How can this be? It is known that we all carry within us." And she touches, when she touches her, like her clavicle, like her chest bone, you hear a rattling at the end of the chains. Like she didn't move them, but they're like the chains like writhe a little bit. And she says, "It is known that we all carry within us a ghost and a higher purpose. And yet, you know this to be untrue." She says that to you, Ramus.
Yes. I've been dealt a bad hand by heaven's meddling. They created something they did not intend to.
She smiles and she says, "I forget myself. Your companions are hungry." And she claps once, and you hear behind you the rustling of the curtains, and servants come in. They're not like slaves, they're not dressed as servants, but people who like serve her. They come in, and one of them is carrying an enormous like a carafe, basically like a big glass jar of something, like it's an urn full of some kind of like amber fluid. Another is holding a basket full of like the palest, thickest, like juiciest peaches you have ever fucking seen. Like they're like this big, and they're just like sweating delicately in the heat. And then another comes in with a tray of glass, of like with glasses on it, with 5 glasses. And so yeah, they come in, and a servant pours this like beautiful like pale wine into the glasses. She reaches out and just takes a peach and just kind of like looks at it.
Is she
And,
drinking the wine? Or was she
Yeah,
served wine?
The servants serve her first. They give her a glass of wine, which she sets on the armrest of her chair. And then the servant comes over with the basket of peaches and holds them in front of the group of you.
Yeah, I'll take a peach. These massive Goliath hands reach in and grab a tiny peach.
Yeah. I mean, to you though, they're like normal size. Like it's like a nectarine or whatever. It's like a little small, but like these are big ass peaches.
Okay. Yeah. I take a big bite of one.
Okay.
Yeah, I grab one with my trunk and feed it to myself.
Okay. This is
Or
going to
do
sound like
not.
a loaded question. I was going to say, this sounds like a loaded question, but is there anybody who doesn't eat?
I don't. No. I've eaten a lot. And also, I don't trust her.
Ramus, what about you?
I think I won't eat one. I'll just pass on it.
Okay. Yota and Maharib.
There.
What's up?
No, there's a reason why I'm taking the peach first. It's to throw Maharib off the trail because all I want is that fucking wine or whatever is that fucking amber liquid.
Okay.
So I'm like,
so for the
peaches
two
are good, right? What's over there?
So I need both of you, and again, this is gonna seem like I'm being hostile. I need both of you to make wisdom saving throws for me. It's not what you think. Okay. All right.
Big ol' one.
So
Not crit
both
fail,
of
though.
you, there is nothing that you could tell me about your characters that would counteract what I'm about to say. It is the most delicious thing, supernaturally so, the most delicious thing you have ever tasted in your entire life. You have never eaten anything that tastes as good as the first bite of this peach. To the point where Maharib, you are brought to tears by it. Like it is a sublime experience, and you feel your eyes well up with tears, and like hot tears like streak down your face when you eat this peach. Yota, you are able to control your feelings, but you feel it. You feel like, oh, it feels so good. It feels so good. And she takes like a casual, like just like a little bite of it, and like swallows it and like closes her eyes, and there's like a faint frisson of like a delight. And she says, kind of casually to the room, she says, they say that in heaven, all our prayers are cultivated like fruit and plucked from trees by the gods to eat. I think on that's you laugh.
Yeah.
She turns to you, Berg, and she says, "Did you eat peaches in heaven, Berg?"
I don't know if I did.
You didn't eat it. You didn't eat it all, dude. You were like a
Yeah, you
robot.
end it all, yeah.
Yeah, you just trained. You just fucking training montage for
Yeah.
days.
Yeah, Berg thinks back to like, it's just like,
Yeah, right. Exactly. Doing the fucking fighting the karate statues and like Emperor Faye like rubbing your shoulders. Like, come on, Berg, you're gonna be a contender. Like, yeah, you did. It was nothing. It was nothing but like running. Yeah, exactly. Running up and down Mount Wudan. Like, yeah. There was no.
Berg like reaching for a peach. No time for peaches, Berg.
Yeah, exactly. Back to work. And the gods just eating peaches and watching you like peach juice all in their beards. Yeah. No.
That'll
Just none
happen.
of that shit. Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you didn't eat shit in heaven.
I did not.
She scowls. See how the Pure Land treats their guests. A shame. You may have one of mine.
I am still very full. Good soup in the camp.
Berg, you have no idea what you're missing. These peaches, I've never tasted anything like them. Maharib will agree. Surely, look at him.
Can I make
So,
a
yeah,
con
we-
save to make sure I'm not crying?
I mean, you're not weeping. It's not you're not just like
It's so good,
like just
Berg, oh God.
yeah. No, but like it hits her right. It hits her right in the fucking feels. So like you could have hidden it by now. You like Yota's like, look at my Harib, it's not like you're just like snot bubbles like like you're fine. You're together.
Okay. Yeah, I look back.
It's really good though.
I look back at Berg. They are quite good. Yes. You should have one.
I don't doubt that. But I like normal peaches as well. And if I were to eat that, normal ones would no longer compare. I'm sure.
She kind of shakes her head and smiles and she says, "Wisdom of the barbarians." She takes a sip of her wine, and she says, "So, Yotazo, you've come here to see the Abbot Rama.
And you kind of surprise him by saying his name because he sees you drinking that wine and immediately like starts like walking over to where the wine is, and he's like feels like he got caught when he hears his name.
Yeah,
Like,
and her like, yeah, and there's this moment too where you look at her and like her lips are like the petals of a soft rose touched with morning dew after taking a sip of that wine. And like instead of focusing on her, your eyes like track the glass back down to the arm of her chair.
I forgive me, I'm parched. Just needed something to drink before. I didn't hear what you said. I apologize.
One of the servants just like holds out a glass of the wine to you, like
I reach in. No, thank you. No wine for us today.
I snake it as fast as I can. I hope I can snake it before he does.
yeah, I mean you can make it so yeah, like it sounds like Maharu's gonna try to get in the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
His goddamn
Right.
hand.
Okay, make like a acrobatics versus athletics like test.
Him
maybe?
for acrobatics, me for athletics.
Yes, yeah.
You should. Oh, a 9. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
running a little
Zeke.
slow.
Zeke, I don't want to disappoint you, but I have a +9. So
Yeah, you're gonna roll a 1 though.
I guess that's the only way I could fail. I rolled a 12.
Oh,
I did
damn
roll
it,
a
I saw
1.
the
though.
roll.
There's that one on the other side. Okay, so yeah, you don't. It's not like you don't like slap it out of his hand like it fucking flies through the air. You just
Yeah.
step in the way.
Yep.
Yeah.
None
And
for us,
yeah, she observes you're like parenting him, and she doesn't say anything, but you can see her noticing
If
it.
she notices, I'll just
yeah.
say, he is an alcoholic. We are working to cure that.
We all struggle with our weaknesses.
Yes.
She kind of turns.
sorry,
To you, like,
yeah.
Did you want to finish explaining what the fuck you're doing here?
Yes. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. You were saying something, and I apologize. Please continue.
The abbot Rama gave his name to the void, as I did, and contemplates its nature now, whispering to us knowledge, our oracle. The abbot is not as I imagine you remember him. You may visit him if you wish.
Thank you. Will I? Well, will he recognize his son when I see him, or when he sees me?
There is only one way to find that out, I think. And you.
I wait and lead the way.
She's just like, she's like, I'm done with you, Yodazo. You got what you want. And she turns and looks at Ramus. She says, and you. What do you want of us? You who will not kneel.
I was told
Whose
to
coming
come
was
to
for-
you. I was told to come to you by what's the Necromancer's King other name?
You've heard him referred to as the Court of Swords calls him the Necromancer King, which is like a straight up like slur, like he's a bad dude, don't like him. You heard the peasant dudes and the soldiers call him the King of Black Rivers. You don't know what she calls him.
Okay. I was told by the King of Black Rivers to come here and speak with you. And that's why I'm here.
Then you are twice blessed with gifts. And as am I, to entertain the Ramus Krill. I have a task for you. You and your friends. If you hope to stay within the monastery, I would advise you complete it. I have enemies. There is a captain of the Court of Swords. He is in camp with some dwarves in the mountains, attempting to win them over to his cause, to gain from them their weapons and expertise, to strike against us before we have finished fortifying this place. This captain, Southern Wind, kill him for me. Bring me his head. This would please me.
Do you care about the dwarves? What we do with them?
Their choices are their own. If you wish to kill them as well.
Maybe we can
Surely.
convince them to join this band.
It has been my experience that dwarves are impressionable. If you think it worth the effort.
Surely
And
they
may
can't
I-
stand as a match to you. You've accomplished so much. Taking over the Monastery of the Sun, for heaven's sake. Pardon me. Sorry. Old habits.
She smiles a little. For our own sake, then. I am not
Yes.
invincible. Nor are you.
And we are not
So then-
assassins. Better suited people, I'm sure, lie within the camp.
You do yourself an injustice. I think you will serve as my assassins quite well. I do have other assets. And when she says that, the chains like whisper a little. They kind of like rattle a little bit. But I would keep them here with me.
We'll need to do some planning. May I have permission to use spells in the camp to prepare for our mission?
Make a persuasion check. Because I don't know about this one, but I think you have a chance you could persuade her.
Okay, I'll use my inspiration on it.
Yeah, get that goal.
The chains like go crazy. Spells, magic.
Nine.
Oh, a 9.
Good
So
God.
she shakes her head and she says, I have many gifts for you and for your friends. Please me, and I might allow you access to your magic. So unless anybody has like a thing, she'll like dismiss you. Like, she's done with you. She's like,
No,
all I
I
need from
think I'd
you.
like step forward to be kind of the forward-facing member of the group and just say,
Yeah.
if we do this task, would this put us down the path of becoming allies rather than us working for you, working alongside you?
She nods slightly. Perhaps. Unlike heaven would have you believe, the future is always uncertain.
I do not believe anything heaven says. You should know that, since you seem to know everything.
No one knows everything. Where would the fun be in that? And she looks at your hand because you're still holding the like pit of the peach that you ate.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at your hand and she gestures, like she leans over like far enough that you could reach her hand, and she puts her hand out like, let's give me that.
You would like this peach.
The pit.
I place it in her hand.
She takes it and she holds it, and she like blows on it, and you hear a cracking sound, and it opens up, and inside we see this tiny, beautiful like white lotus like open up from the inside of the pit, and little bits of like sort of spores drift from its surface. She looks over it and smiles at you. She hands it to a servant. And then she looks at the door and she says, "Do not return here until you have brought me his head. Southern wind, in the mountains with the dwarves. Now go."
Yeah, I turn around and walk out.
Yeah,
Before I leave,
I think
Adam-
that's yeah. Okay, yeah. So we start
Before I
setting
leave-
up for that shot of everybody leaving, and then yeah, you have something you want to say,
I
Rams?
just want to get a real good look at her chains and her dress and see if I suspect there's something in there underneath all that. Like, if I see movement or something that
Yeah,
give me impression
yeah.
that there's something in there.
Oh, shit, she a necromancer and she got feet. Yeah, there's definitely movement. There is something, I would say that you're familiar enough. There's something spectral going on here. Something like shifting in and out of like presence. It's not that it's hidden physically. It's that it's like adjacent to where you are. Something fucking ghostly or whatever is happening here.
Interesting.
Yeah, and so you like get a look at this and then turn and the group of you leave the you go and leave the audience chamber. And that's it. That's our episode.
Dude, motherfucking God. What a
You
fucking
dumb
quandary, though.
idiots.
I don't mind eating the food.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter to me.
I remember those.
Yeah, go.
I remember those pits from as Baron way back in the day.
Yeah.
Inside the one guy that was sick.
Yep.
When he burst open.
It's true. But he was dead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never
Yep.
gonna die.
Yep. That's right. Yeah. Plus, you don't have the pit. You don't have the pit in you, right?
Sure.
Like,
That's true.
it's on the outside of you.
That's
so.
true. Yeah. The forbidden fruit. All right, let's do some shout outs.
Like Yota, like on his way, like he hits the doorway, sees all that shit, and just goes, "Hold it!" Trying to make himself pee.
Like, it tastes so good, even coming up.
Oh God, it's so delicious. It's puke too.
Puree.
Oh God. Let's do some shout outs. Call it a show. We'll go do a Patreon video. Dan, we'll start with you. Some shout outs, please.
Another great show. That was a lot of fun. I'm DansGaming, variety streamer on Twitch. I'll currently be replaying the Metro 2033 and Last Light right before Exodus comes out on Friday. I'm excited for Exodus. Last Light was really fun. This was a really, really fun episode. Again, thanks to JP, Max, Adam, and Zeke for another great show, and I can't wait till next week.
Awesome stuff. Enjoy Metro on Friday, right? That's when it comes out?
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's good. When do reviews hit for that? Tomorrow?
I don't know. Probably.
They should be out pretty soon, I would think. I don't
Yeah,
know.
usually it's like a few days before, unless it's bad and they hide the reviews.
Actually,
We'll see.
The embargo's at 7 a.m. Pacific tomorrow because that's when you can actually stream some of it now that I think about it. So that's probably when it comes out is tomorrow. Or the reviews come out is tomorrow. Anyways, Max, do some shout outs for us.
Sick. Good show. If I had to describe it, I would say it was peachy. I think the next one's going to be very interesting, and this post show is going to be pretty cool to talk about all that stuff. It's always interesting when we leave off on a very narratively words are failing me. Interesting cliffhanger.
Words.
It's interesting. I'm going to be streaming afterwards. If you guys want to watch me play some Raft, thanks, of course, as always, to everyone. Just everyone. Just no names. Just everyone. Just get the screen off me. I can't talk right now. Follow me if you want to. Watch my stream if you want to. Eat peaches, motherfuckers.
Boom. Eat them. Gobble them up. Zeke, do some shout outs.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for watching. As always, this has been a hell of a journey, and I'm excited to see where this goes. More itching and scratching next week. I don't know how long this is gonna last. This fucking affliction. It's terrible, but it's really fun to role play. So thank you for bearing with me. Thank you to Max, Dan, Adam, and JP as for being the best table mates a guy can ask for. I'm Ezekiel III. You can find me at or / Ezekiel_III. I will be on Drop Frames tomorrow, of course, as always. But after Drop Frames, if you guys want some more role playing action, it's a good day to do it because after Drop Frames tomorrow, I will be doing a new Unknown Army 2nd edition on twitch.tv/table story. That'll be after Drop Frames, 1 hour after Drop Frames. And it takes place in the present. It's dark, occult, blood, violence, sex. It's very great. I'm really excited to take this journey. So that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. And then on Thursday, back to No More Heroes to finish it up.
Cool. Last but not least, Adam, and then we'll do some goals.
That's me. Sweet. Well, big shout outs to the presidents of the United States of America, because if you don't have peaches stuck in your head by now, I hope that you will by the time I'm done this sentence.
Yeah, I was going to play it for the intro song. Or the outro
Right?
song.
Seriously. They come from a can. They were put there by a man. So thanks for coming, everybody. This has been Core Swords. I'm really excited that I got to unveil Grave Dirt, and for anybody that watched the GM prep, thanks for, I saw you squirming around in chat being like, oh my God, I know the secrets. You can catch me on Twitter at skinnyghost or twitch.tv/Adam Coble. I'm finishing up Resident Evil 2 this week. And as always, I'm doing a ton of GM prep for all the other stuff that I do, including Far Verona, which is on hiatus this week. But that's okay, because the Far Verona faction Discord has been like blowing up over this whole Acre Eridanis merger thing. It's been great. If you haven't already checked that out, go and watch the YouTube videos and check it in on the Patreon, because it's gonna be a good month for that one. But that's it for us. I'm gonna hand out some XP to these nerds. Also, as always, community.itmeJP.com. There's a Q&A thread. I posted it in the chat. I'll do it again right now because I love you that much. There it is. So yeah, let's take a look at your goals. So, Ramus, you figured out what she wanted from you. So let me figure out how much that one is worth. What level are you right now?
11.
You are level 11. Okay, perfect. All right. So you get 1,600 experience for that guy. So 1600 for that. And then you worked on obtaining a writ, but didn't get it. So that's another 550. And I think that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go. So 1,600 plus 550 for you. And then Maharib, you're working on that second one, that reconciling with the Yotazo. And you started working on the alliance. I heard you throw in that, like, hey, can we be friends? So that's 550 twice for you.
Does it?
Cool.
Oh, it's 500 for level 11, 550 for 12.
Oh, that's right. It's 600 now.
Okay.
It's 50 times your level. So yeah.
Cool.
So it's 1,200 total for you this session.
All right.
Yotazo, you got permission from Grave Dirt to go see the abbot. So that's 1,600 for you. And you worked on having it out with your dad. So that's worth another 550. So same as Ramus. 1,600.
Oh, and I spoke with Ramus about the door to heaven. Like,
oh yes, that's right. Yeah, you can. Yeah. So you can work towards that too. So it's 550 twice and then 1600 on top. And then Berg, you awakened Ramus from his slumber. You awakened him with a sweet jam. So that's worth 1600 experience for you. And you worked on protecting Yoda from his father's corruption by keeping an eye on him and being guardian dude. And that's going to definitely come in next time. If you want, because I imagine the next session you're going to stop in and see Dad before you go on this like murder quest.
Makes sense.
So this session for you, Berg, it's 1600 plus 550.
Oh, 2,150.
You did it. All right. Cool, friends. That's it. That's experience.
Cool. Someone in the community thread, we never do this before, but someone asked, is Zeke still albino?
Yeah, I'm still white.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's
In
like
answer,
a permanent thing, right?
to Zeke's, yes. In answer to Zeke's original question, yes, you are going to be white forever.
Okay. All right. There you go. Cool. All right. That's going to do it here for episode 103. We're going to do that post-show video. If you want to watch that, it's over at patreon.com/roleplay. It'll be posted up probably in about 45 minutes from now. If you want the MP3, we'll get that posted up on Patreon as well. If you want to listen to any MP3, usually on iTunes about a week after we air, and then VODs will start going up tomorrow as well in the morning. So that is it. Oh, you're pretty close, Max. You're like, yeah, maybe next week. Anyways, we'll talk about levels and all that stuff in the post show. We're out of here for now. Thank you guys for watching live. We'll see you next week for more on Tuesday.